All right, we are back today to talk about my boobs, my breast implants, my explant, and having breast implant illness, what it was like then and what it's like now. I explanted 4 years ago, so I wanted to do kind of like a recap video. I also had a subscriber comment a few weeks ago asking for this video, so thank you. I will also be showing my scars at the end of the video. First and foremost, I always get asked, what implants did I have? How big were they before I explanted? So I had 2 sets of implants, 2 surgeries. First set were saline, second set was the Mentor Silicone Gummy Bear. These are 575 cc's. No, they were not yellow when they were put into my body, so I like to point that out. How did I first hear about breast implant illness? So no, it was not from my plastic surgeons that I had previously. It was barely talked about. I fortunately follow Carissa Pukas on Instagram and YouTube. She put out a video 4 or 5 years ago, and I watched it. And I felt like, what I had been looking for had just been answered. What were my symptoms? So there are many symptoms associated with BII. I will list them and link them below. The ones I had were declining health. I was a very healthy dancer, athlete. I loved being social, living my life. After getting implants, everything began with food intolerances, gut issues, body rashes, and then eventually went neurological. I had ear ringing, I had body pain, I would break out in hives, I would be extremely fatigued, I would have joint pain, dizziness, increased and heightened anxiety, depression, mood swings. I had chronic candida, chronic infections. I would almost have a common cold or strep throat a couple times a month. I was always getting Z-Packs from my doctor. I was having UTIs. I was not myself, and my health was declining, and I was, 23, 24 years old. So I started seeing doctors in 2013, and I kept having clear tests. Everything's fine, you're fine. But I didn't feel fine, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse. Another question I get is what made me decide to remove my implants? So it is a big decision. I understand that. I'm not anti-implants. I obviously got 2 sets. I think it's empowering to do whatever you want to do with your body. With that being said, my issue stems from the fact that there is not enough disclosure and awareness. And when you're going to consults, this is something that I believe now it's happening more, but it did not happen back when I got my surgeries. There was no, nothing other than if you completely reject the device, we'll take it out, meaning within 48 hours of surgery. So that is why I discussed this, but for me, ultimately, I was suffering enough with my health, and I believed in this enough that I wanted to take the chance. There is no test for breast implant illness, so you are ultimately going based off symptoms, how you feel, and if you've done your due diligence with testing and doctors to make sure there's nothing else going on. Will everyone get breast implant illness if they have breast implants? Now, this is opinion based. I do not believe every single person will become ill. With that being said, if you have a pregnancy, have a trauma, have a surgery, have, something significant in your life happen, it can happen to you at any time. It doesn't always happen right away. It also sets you up for a predisposition to increasing your toxic load to a point where you will break down eventually. So when I say toxic load, Our bodies are exposed constantly to toxins. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, and so on. We are constantly exposed. Not everyone's body is created equal. We are not all detoxing the same or living the same. So with me, that was very significant in figuring out what was wrong with me. I had a very heightened toxic load, and the implants were a part of it. So it may not be your full story, and I like to make that very clear because there are women and men who have removed implants and they do not automatically get better. It's part of a bigger story. And I'm someone like that. There is much more to my story and what I've gone through and what I'm currently going through. Another thing I like to point out, implants are not a forever device. Once you go down this road, you need to get them replaced. The recommended replacement rate is every 10 years. So every 10 years, you're gonna be opening up your body, replacing a device, and putting your body through that trauma. So even though you are put under and you can't feel the surgery, your nerves in your body are exposed to the trauma of the surgery. At any point in time, that can change your health. Where did I go for my explant surgery? I went to Aqua Plastic Surgery to Dr. David Rankin. I will link everything below. Very happy there, great experience. It was just easy and I felt very supported and very heard. The question I get asked is, did I have a breast lift? Yes, I did. It was advised to me by my surgeon based on the size of my implants and my body type. So I am curvier. I'm about 5'5", 140 pounds. My body presents more curvy. So we were going off, my muscle tone, fat tissue, and the fact that my implants were huge, they were triple Ds. And he said you have some natural breast tissue, but I really can't be sure your end result. And I also wanted my nipples resized, which sounds insane. But when they did my lift, they did fully remove my nipples. They resized them appropriately to the new size and reattach. So I know it's a lot to process, but I'm happy I did. And honestly, going through something like that, you don't have to have a lift. It was my choice. I'm happy I did because it is something that's mentally impactful. You have to learn to be strong and love your body, and you're recovering, and it puts you through a lot. So I think for me to come out and be like, oh, okay, like I'm all put back together, it was nice. That's my opinion. But no, you don't have to have a breast lift. So probably my most asked question is about scarring. I do have what they call anchor scars. So it's shaped like an anchor where it is under my breast and then up the middle to my nipple. Year one, they were very red, but I mean, they're using a scalpel, and it's to be expected. So they would start fading and then they would just get red, in the shower or at the beach, like when you're exposing yourself to heat. So I used rosehip oil, did the massages that I was instructed to do, and they faded fast. I mean, year 2, 3, just kept fading, and now they are fully skin tone. I would say the only area of some darkness is when you get up towards my nipple, because the skin tone naturally changes, but I mean, I'm very impressed with how faded they are. Do I use anything now for the scars? So the scars are pretty much gone, but what I do just to keep everything going and together is this hyaluronic acid cream. So I get this on French Pharmacy. I will link it below. It's great. It basically is for scarring, skin rebuilding, if you're reattaching skin. So you really could use this for any injury, surgery, whatever. I also use it on my face, but this stuff is great. I get asked a lot by people if they should get their implants out, if I think they would get better. You know, sadly, I have no way of knowing that. I have advised people based on their symptoms and what they're telling me. I think what I can recommend at this point and what I figured out about myself, there are 2 gene mutations that will kind of give you a predisposition to autoimmune and detoxifying issues that they are seeing in multiple studies that are linked to breast implant illness. So those mutations are the MTHFR and the HLA. I have both. I'm double homozygous for MTHFR. And when I tested positive, that was kind of my naturopath's response. Like, okay, these are significant when it comes to BII, and knowing that, okay, like there's some reasoning here. So with the MTHFR, your body can't detox on its own. With HLA, you're predispositioned to autoimmune disorders and sensitivities to toxins. So when you're putting these in, I mean, what do you think they're made up of? Like, it's toxic. And there are people that have better genes than others. That's a fact. We're not all created equal. So when I look back at my life, I was a kid that was always sick, ear infections, runny nose, rashes. I was that kid. So I've always been very sensitive. It makes perfect sense. So I would say if you're someone that's like, oh, I really want implants, but I'm scared, or you have implants and you do not know what to do, get these tests and see if that even makes sense for you. Because there are ways you can support your body. For example, you have MTHFR. You could try detoxing before explanting. You could try, binders and saunas and glutathione, etc. So something, in my opinion, my non-medical professional opinion, just over the years of living this life and learning, that is something that is being studied, is being looked at, and could give you kind of an idea. So sadly, I see this one a lot. A lot of people, my partner is not supportive, they don't know what I'm gonna look like, etc. I went through something like that at the time of explant, and all I can say is be strong, be empowered. It's your body, it's your choice. And if someone's dating you because of the size of your boobs, like, you should really consider that one as a major red flag. And I know things are more complicated than that, but you are deserving of being healthy, and you are deserving of having a partner that supports you in any way, shape, form, condition, whatever is going on. So that is what I say to people with that response. Another question I get is, how much money did this all cost? So I strongly suggest joining Nicole's Healing for Breast Implant Illness group on Facebook. A lot of people know what it is. You can ask things on there, you can read and search other people's questions. There are all different price points. There are rare cases where insurance has covered it. So there is a cancer associated with breast implants, PIA, ALCL lymphoma, I believe is what it's called. So that, and there are some, gold star insurance companies that have approved this. It's been heard of, so it's worth a shot. Also check with the manufacturer of your implants and see if they have a class action going on that you can join, or a recall, or what they can do. You can call them, and they're nice. I mean, I called Mentor, and you just go through a questionnaire and kind of file a complaint. There are people who have gotten checks for doing that. Aside from that, it will be a voluntary cosmetic surgery. So in most cases, people do pay. I've heard of explants as low as $5,000 and as high as like 20. So it depends where you are in the country, where you're going. Please do your homework. don't go 100% for cost because you want to make sure it's a full en bloc capsulectomy. Not every doctor is trained on doing this, meaning the capsule that grows around the implant that your body will grow as a defense mechanism, that needs to be removed. That can't be left in the body. So do your homework on your doctor, but the price of mine was over $12,000, you know, and that was with the lift, and that, you know, is the pricing here. So it was not cheap. But, you know, when I add up all my implants and my explant, I'm like, wow, that was a huge waste of money. Once I explanted, I get asked a lot, what were like the things I bought or needed or stocked up on? So snacks that are healthy, that are not going to inflame you. So gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free. Having food on hand. My mom came to stay with me, so that was helpful. You don't wear a bra for a while, but when you do, bralettes, really loose fitting sports bras. I love the bralettes from Skims. Having a comfortable sleep setup, because you cannot sleep laying down or on your side or on your stomach. You have to be somewhat elevated so you don't have like clotting or issues. So whether you need a body pillow or something, make sure you have a comfy sleep setup. Make sure you have things that are easy to get in and out of. Nothing over the head, something that like buttons up, or a robe, you know, a zip up, anything like that. So those are my recommendations. And immediately when you explant, start detoxing, not heavily, but lightly. Get like a detox tea or take binders. Be really gentle with your body and with yourself, but take advantage of being able to have some downtime and get that detox going. The end of this video, to wrap this up, I do want to talk about what made recovery easier for me with this. So surround yourself with good people. If you're struggling mentally or with a partner in your life, please seek out mental health help. There are so many options. There's talk therapy, there's other modalities, and it's becoming more and more affordable and accessible nowadays.
All right, as promised, I'm showing my scars. So these are the bottom of the anchor scars. And this is the front profile, side profile, and my other side profile.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will link below my Instagram, my email. Feel free to comment below or reach out with any questions, anything I didn't answer, anything that you would like more information on. I'm happy to give that to you. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and then give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys next time.